It all began with a single photograph. I had noticed the distance between us growing over time. Her excuses, the long hours she worked, the late nights. But I dismissed it, telling myself it was just part of the grind. I loved Amelia, and we'd been through so much together. Surely, we could weather this too. But that photo, that damn photo, shattered everything. It was a candid shot from her company's summer picnic. Amelia was smiling, leaning too close to her colleague Jason, his hand resting on her waist. The photo, though casual, revealed more than I could ignore. My co-worker Ryan had innocently shown it to me, not knowing the damage it would do. "Hey, isn't this your wife?" he asked, flipping through his phone. It was her, no doubt about it, and the pose wasn't innocent. That night, I couldn't eat. Amelia came home late again, wearing her crimson lipstick, the same shade she always wore when meeting clients. She kissed me on the cheek, her perfume heavy in the air. "Long day," she said, brushing past me. I cleaned up the dinner I'd made, the dinner she had ignored. My hands shook with the weight of what I was feeling, suspicion, anger, and a growing need for answers. Over the following weeks, I started piecing things together. The lack of intimacy, her sudden obsession with her appearance, the faint giggles during late-night phone calls. And then there were the receipts. A hotel charge on our joint credit card for a boutique 2 hours away, on a day she was supposed to be out of town for work. I confronted her, but she denied it. "You're being paranoid," she said coldly. "Jason is just a friend." Her voice, dismissive, made it clear she didn't even care to try to hide her irritation. In that moment, I knew that the woman I had loved was gone, replaced by someone I barely recognized. I could have walked away then, but something inside me snapped. The humiliation, the betrayal, it all boiled over. I couldn't let her get away with it. When Amelia's company announced their annual gala, a grand event where spouses were encouraged to attend, I saw my opportunity. She hadn't even bothered to invite me. That was her first mistake. Her second was underestimating me. The night of the gala, I dressed in the tailored suit she had picked for me years ago. It was almost ironic how she had once cared about how I looked. I walked into the hotel ballroom with calm resolve, though my heart pounded in my chest. The room was glittering with gold, filled with people exchanging shallow pleasantries. Amelia stood near the center, radiant in a red dress, laughing at something Jason had said. His hand rested possessively on her lower back. A wave of nausea hit me, but I swallowed it down. This wasn't the time for weakness. I approached them slowly, overhearing their conversation. Jason's grin faltered when he saw me. Amelia's face drained of color. "Darling," I said, my voice sugary sweet. "I thought I'd surprise you." The tension was palpable. Jason stepped back, trying to maintain politeness, but his discomfort was clear. Amelia's eyes darted around the room, searching for a way out. "Oh, I didn't think you," she stammered. I finished her sentence for her. Well, I couldn't miss celebrating my wife's success. I turned to Jason and extended a hand. "You must be Jason. Amelia talks about you all the time." Jason hesitated, then shook my hand. His grip was weak. "Yeah. Nice to meet you." I smiled, letting the silence stretch. "Funny, Amelia never mentioned how close you two are." Amelia's eyes widened in panic. "Can we talk, Jack?" she hissed, grabbing my arm. "Of course," I replied, my voice still steady. "But first, let's toast to you." I raised my voice to command the room's attention. "Everyone, can I have your attention?" The room went silent. Amelia's grip tightened on my arm, her nails digging into my skin, but I wasn't done. "I just want to say how proud I am of my wife," I began, my voice carrying. "She's worked so hard this year, hasn't she?" A few polite claps followed, but I wasn't finished. "And she's clearly made some meaningful connections along the way." I glanced pointedly at Jason. Whispers rippled through the crowd. Amelia's boss, Margaret, frowned, her eyes darting between the three of us. "Jack, stop," Amelia whispered, pleading with me. But I wasn't stopping. I pulled out my phone, projecting a photo onto the large screen behind the stage. It was the picture of Amelia and Jason, lips locked outside the boutique. Gasps erupted. Jason turned red with anger. Amelia looked like she wanted to disappear. "I'm sorry to interrupt the festivities," I said, my tone dripping with sarcasm. But I thought transparency was important, especially since Amelia and Jason seemed to have such a collaborative relationship. Margaret's frown deepened, and Jason's co-workers whispered furiously. The humiliation was clear on his face. Amelia opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. "You bastard," Jason finally spat, lunging toward me. Two men held him back as I stood my ground, my expression calm. "You're ruining her career," he growled. "Oh, I think you've done it yourselves," I replied, icy cold. "But by all means continue. Let's see how far you get." Margaret stepped forward, her face twisted in fury. "Jason, Amelia, my office. Now." They scurried off after her like children chasing a ball. I watched them go, feeling the weight in my chest lift for the first time in months. For once, I felt in control. The fallout was swift and unforgiving. Jason was fired for violating company policy on workplace relationships. Amelia was demoted to a lower-paying role in a different department. She came home that night, her mascara streaked with tears, begging me to talk. "You didn't have to humiliate me like that," she sobbed. "And you didn't have to destroy our marriage," I replied, my voice void of sympathy. "You chose this, Amelia, not me," I said coldly. The next day, I filed for divorce. She fought me on everything, the house, the savings, even our dog. But I had a lawyer as relentless as I was. In the end, she walked away with nothing but her clothes. A year has passed since that night. I've moved to a new city, started a new job, and even adopted a puppy. Amelia tried to reach out once, sending a long-winded apology via email, but I didn't respond. Some wounds are better left untouched. As for Jason, last I heard, he'd moved back in with his parents. His career was in ruins. Poetic justice, if you ask me. Looking back, I'm not proud of how messy it all got. But I'm glad I stood up for myself. Life's too short to let betrayal go unanswered. And now, as I sit here, watching my puppy chase his tail, I finally feel at peace.